In this video, I am going to share how you can scale from 10K months to 20, 30, even 50K months without having to add more to your plate. Yes, without working more. Now, you've likely heard that to hit your next revenue goal, you need multiple courses, you need a high ticket offer, you need a group program, maybe even a retreat. But here's the truth. Scaling isn't about doing more. It's about optimizing and doing the right things in the right way. And if you are stuck in worker bee mode, handling every detail in your business, micromanaging your team, constantly launching, you're limiting your growth. Today, I'm going to share my Scale Smarter framework, a 3-step process to transform you from worker bee to queen bee, so you can scale beyond multi-6 figures without sacrificing what you've already worked so hard to build. Because the women who scale sustainably, they aren't doing more, they are leading their businesses better. Now, most women entrepreneurs hit 6 figures and then find themselves often stuck in an overworking trap. Success brings more opportunities, and suddenly the assumption is that to grow further, you need to add more. More offers, more strategies, more hours at your desk or even at your laptop, sitting in front of the TV after the kids go to bed at night. Before you realize it, your calendar is overflowing. Your to-do list is never ending. And instead of running an actual business, it feels like your business is running you. So I like to think of it kind of like a closet where you keep on shoving and adding in clothes, thinking it's going to make getting dressed easier or giving you a better wardrobe. But in actual fact, it makes it harder to find what truly suits you. The solution isn't accumulating more. It's about refining, simplifying, and embracing your role as a CEO. Using the closet analogy, having a beautiful capsule wardrobe. This is where the Scale Smarter framework becomes essential. So to transition from worker bee to queen bee and to scale effectively without overextending yourselves, you need to implement 3 key shifts. I like to call this the royal method. So the first step for scaling beyond 6 figures is to refine your offer. Most women entrepreneurs try to grow by adding more offers in, but in reality, the fastest way to scale is by focusing on one highly scalable, high-value offer. So an example of this is a client of mine making 20K a month or around $250,000 a year. She was constantly launching multiple offers and feeling like she was on a hamster wheel. When we looked at her business, we realized one of her offers was already responsible for almost 80% of her revenue. So instead of launching more, we refined that one offer, raising the price slightly, streamlining the delivery, and within 6 months, she had crossed from $250,000 all the way to $500,000 without working more. Now, this approach aligns with the principles in that amazing book, 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. They teach that exponential growth happens by focusing on fewer, higher impact activities. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. Your business doesn't grow by adding more pieces. It grows by refining what already works. And this brings us to the second step. You need to really optimize your business model and yield bigger results with less effort. This means simplifying your client journey, removing any bottlenecks, and making sure your business actually supports your growth. So I want you to think of it like a beehive. The queen doesn't run around doing every little task. She creates a beautiful environment where the hive thrives without her needing to micromanage every single part of it. And what this looks like in real life in your business, that's like raising your prices so you don't need as many clients to hit your revenue goal. Or maybe restructuring your offers so it scales without you constantly being involved in every client interaction. Or creating a streamlined sales and marketing system so leads come in without you constantly launching. I also love the book by Kate Northrup called Do Less, where she explains that when women focus on what actually moves the needle, they make more money without constantly working harder. When you optimize your business model and your offers, your revenue grows without adding more work to your plate. Finally, to step into your queen bee role, you need to start automating and leading like a CEO. So many women are stuck in the weeds, answering every email, responding to every DM, onboarding every client manually. Now, I love a beautiful customer experience and giving a really strong personal touch for my clients. But real growth happens when you actually step back from the busy work and step into true CEO mode. And to be honest, I learned this the hard way. Early on in my business, I thought success meant doing everything myself, offering multiple services, handling every single client inquiry, manually running my marketing. And at first, it worked until I hit a point where I was absolutely exhausted, constantly working and still not making the kind of money that justified the effort. Once I really streamlined my systems and I built a small but mighty team and actually started leading my business instead of managing it, everything changed. Now, if you're doing everything yourself, you don't have a business, you actually have a job. And we left corporate so that we didn't have a job and so that we had our own businesses to run and lead our own businesses with the flexibility and the freedom that came with them. And your job as a CEO is to lead and not manage. Now, let's talk about what this actually gives you. I want you to imagine this. You're making more money than ever, but you actually have time to enjoy it. You can take summers off with your kids, knowing your business is still growing and doesn't come to a complete standstill. You book first-class travel and pay cash without stressing over every single expense. You have the space to focus on your family, your health, and even hobbies, like me getting into my garden and growing beautiful flowers simply because I love to. This is what happens when you shift from worker bee to queen bee. When you stop doing more and start leading better, your business grows without taking over your life. So if you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and actually learn how to implement this in your business, I want you to join me for what I have every single month, which is a Scale Smarter Challenge. It is a value-packed 2-day challenge where I teach you this framework in detail and show you exactly how to implement it as you scale to your first multi-6 figures. The next round starts soon and I would love to see you inside. You will find the link in the description to grab your spot. You can join as a general member or you can join as a VIP and get personal coaching with me. Because remember, scaling isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And I will show you exactly how to do that inside the challenge. Now, if you would also like to be the first to know when my next Scale Smarter video drops, tap the bell button so you get notified right away. I'll be sharing a lot more strategies to help you scale from 6 to multi-6 and even higher levels without sacrificing what you've already worked so hard for. I can't wait to see you in the next video.